Okay, folks, welcome back to the Lost Highway. We are at the Twin Tunnels in Perry County, Kentucky, supposedly haunted according to local lore. I believe these tunnels were constructed in the 1920s. You can see them in the background. I'm blinded by the sun, so I'm not really sure what you guys are seeing. Supposedly a worker was killed during the construction of one or the other of these tunnels. I believe it's the one to the right. From what I've read, seems to have the most activity. So I'm here with my partner in crime, Sheila, co-pilot down the Lost Highway, and we're going to take you guys in there and see what happens. So stick around. All right. I cannot. I'm blinded by that sun. It's terrible. Oh, and by the way, we're not in any danger. As you can see, the tracks are completely overgrown, so there's no train traffic through here on this side. Sounds like a hunting dog baying in the background there. Yeah, I don't know if he's in distress or if he's got something treed. It's hard to tell with some of those. They tend to get excited if they get on the scent of something. I think this is called Tunnel Hill, by the way, fitting title. And it's my understanding there is a cemetery on top of this hill somewhere, with, I believe, one grave dating back to the 1820s. I think is the oldest. There's some Civil War era graves back there. Also, I think Union and Confederate soldiers. As you can see, it's quite overtaken by kudzu. That stuff's pretty invasive. And in eastern Kentucky, it's everywhere, unfortunately. All right, now you tell me that's not a fitting scene right out of some kind of horror movie. If you didn't know it was just out in the middle of the country. And there's not really anybody around, so. Not much to worry about here. So I'm gonna give you a little size and scope of this thing. I know it's kind of hard to tell. But it's a pretty large tunnel. My understanding is it could be up to half a mile long. I'm not sure about that. I tried to find statistics on the interwebs unsuccessfully. So that's where we're at with that. I don't have the greatest flashlight with me today, but we're going to give it a go with what we do have. It's pretty echoey in here, to be expected. It's a fairly dry tunnel compared to some I've been in over the years. But I think we're going to try to walk from one end to the other and give you an idea of the distance. I have been here before, years ago. I didn't have any experiences then. By the way, I'd just like to mention, we are not ghost hunters per se. We are just fans of oddities and kind of forgotten Americana. We like abandoned places. We are skeptics that want to be convinced that the spirit world is real, but until a ghost comes up and shakes my hand and introduces itself, I'm probably going to remain a skeptic. This little indentation you see here is so that anyone who's on foot in the tunnel, when a train comes, you can actually hop up there, make yourself as flat as possible, and let the train safely pass you by. I think there's one of those every 10 to 15 feet on either side of the tunnel. But honestly, from the looks of it and with my familiarity with a lot of the coal trains that ran in this area, I think this was an L&N railway tunnel. You could be outside that indentation and be just fine as long as you stayed against the wall. It's February 2026 as we film this, and it's kind of warm out there in the sunlight, so it feels pretty good in here. And I do believe that once you get to about the halfway point, if I'm remembering this tunnel correctly, I think you can extinguish your flashlights and be in pretty much total darkness. You can't see light from either entrance.
I'm not going to do that, are you?
Of course. And hopefully, when I turn the light off and turn it back on, we'll both still be here. Because I haven't run in a very long time.
I'll be holding on to you because I fall.
I'm not really sure where this track eventually, the next town it eventually ends up in. I'm not sure. Well, I can tell you right now, I was mistaken about my tunnel memory, because I'm going to extinguish this light. And you can clearly see light from the distant exit that we're headed toward. And as I pan around slowly, you can see light from where we entered. So obviously this tunnel is not half a mile long by any means. I wouldn't even say it's a quarter mile. The sister tunnel just to the left of this one, as we entered, I think is probably about the same length as this one. Maybe a little longer, being that it's a little further up the mountain, but I wouldn't imagine there's a lot of difference. You don't get any particular feelings of dread or a sense that anything nefarious is going on in this place, as far as I'm concerned. How about you, Sheila?
No,
I think it's just an unused railroad tunnel,
it could be different at night though.
but we are here in the daytime, and like Sheila just said, it could be different at night. A lot of people believe those energies or spirits or whatever you want to call them manifest more easily at night. I've been a lot of haunted places, and I've never really had anything happen. Had a few doors close, things of that effect, but I don't attribute it to the spirit world, because seeing is believing, and I'm yet to see a ghost.
I'm sure it'd be a lot creepier at night.
It is. When I was here years ago, the tunnel was still active. They were using it to move coal. And me, like a big dummy, I had my text notification sound set to a train whistle. And I was in here with about 4 or 5 other people, and I got a text from my son at 3 o'clock in the morning, and my train whistle activated, and everyone with me scattered for the entrances and exits. And I'm yelling, it was just my phone. Now this is icy. This is wet.
Yeah.
So it's kind of slippery through here. And as you can see, it's just kudzu and slate shale. It's kind of letting loose on that side. And that's looking down the track. And this is up the tunnel, and you can see there's a rock ledge up there. And like I mentioned earlier, a cemetery supposedly somewhere. So I'm gonna walk out a little distance here and turn around and give you a view looking back at it, so you'll have an idea of what both entrances look like. I'm gonna tell you right now, they look like a railroad tunnel somewhere in the middle of nowhere in eastern Kentucky. And that, my friends, pretty much sums it up. We didn't see any ghosts, and we're both still here, so we're going to call that a win. Lost Highway 1, ghost nothing. Okay. Thanks for joining us. Like and subscribe. Spread the word. We're a new channel. Follow us on Facebook at The Lost Highway. And if you have suggestions of anything you'd like us to take a look at,
And watch our Fugits Entertainment.
and also watch our Fugit Entertainment video on YouTube, and some photographs on the Facebook page also. And we're going to wrap this up because there's not a whole lot more to show you here. But, you know, it's a pretty neat old tunnel. And again, like and subscribe. Make suggestions in the comments, either on Facebook or here on the videos. Or you can email us at thelosthighwayproject@gmail.com. We'll see you next time.